everyone. So today I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna make my version of Cracker Barrel meatloaf and Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. So what I'm gonna do is give these to my husband and son to see if they can tell the difference, so they won't know which one is which. So I'm really excited about it. The first step though is to go to Cracker Barrel. I did order curbside for these items, so let's go pick it up. All right, we're in the car and ready to go to Cracker Barrel. One of the tips about driving in Florida is it's crazy, so as you'll get to see. Alright, so made it back with our Cracker Barrel. I'll show you what it looks like. They were, I don't know, every time I've gone to Cracker Barrel, I think I've gotten more than one slice of meatloaf, but maybe this is the lunch portion. I'm not sure, but there we go. We got the hash brown casserole, the meatloaf right there. So I'm gonna set this aside and until we get ours done, so we can have them, you know, blind test everything just to see if they can figure out which is which or which one they like better. Now this will be cut into two videos, one for the hash brown casserole and one for the meatloaf. So I'm gonna start on the meatloaf first since it does need to sit in the refrigerator for a little bit. So let me grab my ingredients and then we'll get started. All right, so I've gotten some stuff prepared to make our meatloaf. Let's go over the ingredients. So I have 2 pounds of ground chuck. Just what I prefer to use. If you like a leaner ground beef, you can use that. But 2 pounds of ground chuck is what I'm using. I have the Ritz Crackers Fresh Stacks, which I'm gonna use 3 of these. If you have the regular Ritz crackers, you can just use 1 full pack and then a half of another. I have 3 large eggs, which I've gone ahead and beat up in here. And we have a 1/2 cup milk, 1 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I have 3/4 cup of finely diced onion and 3/4 cup of finely diced green pepper. And then in here I've mixed a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Now we're also going to put a topping on this meatloaf, and I've already kind of added it to the bowl. I haven't mixed it in yet, as you can see. There's a cup of ketchup in here, a teaspoon of mustard, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We won't need that until halfway through the baking process though, so we're just going to set that aside for now. So with your ground chuck, you go ahead and we can pour in the egg, the milk, the onion, the green pepper, go ahead and add that salt and pepper mixture. Sprinkle that around. And I'm gonna go ahead and add our cheese. And then with the Ritz crackers, we're gonna smash them up finely. So this is why I like to use the fresh stacks. I like to smash them before I open the packaging. Yeah, it'll probably bust just like mine did, but it's still easier to smash them up. I guess it's a cleaner process. So yeah, we want to try to avoid having big chunks of crackers in there. So just do the best you can. And then I'll open that up all the way. Careful, you don't want it to like go everywhere. And then I'll just sprinkle that around in there. And then we'll do that with the remaining other crackers. Okay, so I have everything added in. Nothing's been mixed up yet, so you can mix this up with a spoon if you'd like. I find it more difficult. I like to use my hands. So I get a couple of food preparation gloves, and I mix it with my hands. Just get everything mixed in and incorporated. Don't want to over mix it if you can avoid it. Just kind of squishing it together, mixing it in. Make sure you get all the liquid, especially the milk, mixed in there really good with the egg. I know some people like to put ground pork in their meatloaf. I've just always preferred just using beef. But I would assume it would turn out just as good if you wanted to do 1 pound of the pork and 1 pound of the beef. All right, so that looks pretty good. Everything's mixed up pretty well. I didn't overdo it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a pan prepared. Because we're going to actually make this into a loaf or 2 loaves, which I prefer. I'll show you that in just a second. And then we're going to let them sit in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Sometimes I like to do this the day before and let them sit in the refrigerator overnight, and it turns out just as good. And the reason I like to do that is they just tend to stick together better after they've been baked. And when you go to slice the meatloaf, no one likes it to fall apart and turn crumbly. So this works the best for me. I've gone ahead and I've gotten out a glass baking dish, and I like to make this into 2 separate loaves. I just think it bakes better and it sticks together better for me. If you prefer 1 giant loaf, you know, that's fine too. But I'm gonna make 2 of the smaller loaves, about 1 pound a piece. All right, that one's looking pretty good. I'll do that with the remaining. I don't measure it. I just kind of, you know, guess what's a pound, what isn't a pound, you know. It's no big deal if they're a little off in size, which these are, but that's okay. Still taste the same. All right, so I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, so from here, what I'm gonna do is wrap this up in plastic wrap, and then we're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Like I said, you can do it the night before, which seems to make my life a lot easier. But for the video purposes, we're just gonna let this sit for an hour. and then we'll get it in the oven to bake it. It's ready to go in the oven. So I did go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees. And what I'm going to do is put this in and let it go for 30 minutes. I'll set the timer for 30 minutes, and then we're going to add some of the topping that we set aside. So let me go ahead and pop this in the oven. So it's been 30 minutes. So I'm going to check the meatloaf now and put the topping on it. So let's grab it out of the oven. All right, this is what we've got so far. And I did mix up our ketchup, mustard, and brown sugar, so we'll just spoon that on the top. All right, there we have it. So we'll put this back in the oven for another 30 minutes. All right, the timer just went off on our oven. Time to check our meatloaf. It should be finished. But I'll go ahead and grab that out and we'll check the temperature. All right, I'm gonna check the temperature in the center of the largest meatloaf just to make sure it's where it needs to be. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, it's good. So what we're gonna do from here is just set this aside. We're gonna let this cool. It needs to cool at least 30 to 45 minutes before it is sliced, so it won't fall apart. But anyway, our taste testers aren't here just yet, so I will set this aside. I'll let this cool, and I'll probably have to go ahead and refrigerate it and then warm it back up once they arrive, and then we'll do our taste tests. All right, now it's time for the taste test for the Cracker Barrel meatloaf. All right, one of these is mine and one is Cracker Barrel. So we're gonna see if they can tell the difference. Like I showed you earlier, Cracker Barrel was a little bit stingy with their meatloaf today. So I've tried to only cut a really small piece. All right.
Okay, now for the meatloaf?
Yeah.
Right off the bat, without tasting it, this one looks a little drier. So we'll see. Hope I'm not
It's really hot.
hurting anyone's feelings.
They're both really good, but I like that this has a little more ketchup on it, just the piece that I got, because I like the ketchup on meatloaf.
What do you think?
That one's better.
Which one?
This
That's
one.
that's what I said.
Does it taste different?
They taste awfully similar.
I would say they taste the same, other than, for me, this one is, it just seems drier.
Oh, I like the ketchup on this one.
All right. Well, you both picked my meatloaf again over the Cracker Barrel version. So.
You did this about dinner time, so that's really good timing for us to have dinner.
Yep.
Very good. Thanks, Sarah.
Good.
All right. So that's it. The hash brown casserole. They both said mine tasted better. Same with the Cracker Barrel meatloaf. Check both of the videos out. Hope you love it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.